Good evening. We're going to call the April 8th Board of Education meeting to order. Ms. Greer, would you please call the roll?
Mark.
Here.
Colburn. Davis.
Here.
Elman.
Here.
Odo.
Here.
Madison.
Here.
And Smith.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We'll go to the next item, which is a recitation of the district mission and vision. Trustee Clark is raring to go, so I'll let him.
Our mission is to create an inclusive learning community that provides the best academic and social experience by educating the whole child, one child at a time. Our vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens engaged in the global community.
Thank you very much. We'll go to item number 3, which is the approval of the agenda. The agenda was sent to us several days ago, I believe. So if there are no issues with the agenda as presented, without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the agenda is hereby approved. We will go to approve the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. Any questions on those items? Not, without objection, we'll approve the pass a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any objection to doing so? Hearing none, the consent agenda is hereby approved. We'll go to reports. We have one from Mr. Abdullah. Floor, sir.
Thank you, President Melvin. And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, Ms. Henderson, Ms. Williams, Ms. Williams. So good evening, members of the board and our heroes for the night. So as you know, we had communicated some information regarding an item that had transpired, an issue that had transpired during staff-student basketball game, and these folks here are what made it a remarkable event. They literally saved the life of a staff member. So I asked Principal Williams if she would identify some of the students, some of the staff, some of the employees that were courageous enough to come to the rescue during that event. And she wrote a few things about each one. And so what I would like to do is, as I call your name up, if you would be our guest and joining us here while we say a little bit about you and present you a small token of appreciation for what we call our humanitarian award. But it's so much greater than that. So we will start with Israel. The boys, if you would come up here, Israel. So Israel is an 11th grade student. She's an 11th grade student who attends OTEC in the nursing assistant program. This is her first year. She's currently employed at Beaumont Hospital as a patient transporter. After high school, Israel would like to pursue a nursing degree at University of Michigan. Her long-term goal is to be a general surgeon. Israel learning CPR from her OTEC teachers, Miss Shaw, and you're going to have to help me with this one. Miss Canvasser. This was right before Christmas break. She used these CPR skills for the first time on the day of the medical emergency.
Wow.
Israel comes from a family of individuals who work in the healthcare industry. Her mother works with patients in hospice and home care. Her aunt recently retired from Beaumont, and her grandmother also worked in the medical field. Israel has 5 siblings, of which she's the second oldest. For fun, Israel used to play basketball, volleyball, and run track. She enjoys listening to podcasts. Israel has reserved personality. She prefers small groups and has a strong sense of independence to get things done and take care of business. She gets strong mindset from her mother. Now let me add what I witnessed. When I tell you that I seen Israel pumping away, she was pumping away, and I got goosebumps just talking about it, and I'm thinking, who is this? I mean, that's the first thing. I'm like, who is this person? Because fast thinker, doing CPR, and saving a life. And it's such a remarkable thing that you've done that I don't think you'll fully realize the totality of what you have done until you're older, and you tell this story to your family when you're older, old like us. Right? But you have managed to not only save a life, but to set an example of what can be done. And you're an 11th grader. Next, I got another student, a little bit older than Israel. Gregory Carter, come on up, Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, I won't divulge his age, but he has 42 years in coaching alone, so that just tells you a little bit of how old he is. But on a serious note, not only is he the football coach, he's the athletic director. He was also performing and pumping away CPR. And I did recognize him when he was doing it, you know. But he was pumping away. And to set that example for all the other employees that were watching and witnessing this man perform, they were handing off CPR to one another, which is exactly what you were taught. And then just to have that thought process to do all those things that we are taught to do as coaches, but to not freeze as we're doing that. He's a remarkable young man, I'll say that. And we are so appreciative of his leadership, his mentoring, and everything that he does for the school district of Oak Park. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't... We had to magnify the typing because I couldn't see, so it's good, I could see. Next is Mr. Jarbo. Come on up, Mr. Jarbo. When I tell you he's not only large in stature, but in passion and heart, Mr. Jarbo actually was one of the persons who, I don't know if the word is triggered the AED machine to revive, or did the clipping, or I don't know the medical term, the shock, to revive that. If you know, those of you that are medical field, that AED machine does not go off if the heart is pumping. So what does that tell you? And so Mr. Jarbo is doing that, and he does owe a shirt to someone because he just ripped the shirt right off before putting those two shirts. And so he is, not only did he provide translation support to the emergency contact person, he's got 19 years in education, 10 years as a special education parapro from Southfield, and 9 years in teaching. He's what you would call a gentle giant, heart of gold. To know him is to love him, and it's obvious. You can see it with his passion. He has over 10 years in coaching, And he'll be glad to show you his bull ring from somewhere in Ohio, but we really don't care where in Ohio, but somewhere in Ohio, he's got his bull ring. And he actually got 5 of them. And in 1992, his family relocated to the United States from Iraq. At the young age of 10, his family escaped the Gulf War, and Mr. Jarbo's children are first generation born in the United States. He loves working with the kids and loves being here, so thank you. All right. Next, we got Miss Rona Glenn. Come on up, Miss Rona Glenn. So, as I'm watching all of this transpire, right, I see all these people that are doing all these different things that come together in one voice. It wasn't like, okay, you go, you come back, you do this. It was all at the same time happening. So I see this person running in. I'm like, who's this running in with the AED machine? And that's Rona coming in out of nowhere. I don't even know where she came from, but she just comes in darting with an AED machine. And I pulled her aside and I said, wow, you know, you guys are, I mean, to think that quickly of what they're doing is remarkable. She's a quick thinker, and in times of crisis, on this day, her actions were quick, swift, and just in time with AED. Ms. Glenn has worked in education for 24 years. We won't say how old she is either. But 24 years. She began her career at Roosevelt Middle School. Now it's OPA, but it's not as cool as Roosevelt. Here at Oak Park School District, as a 7th grade English language arts teacher, she coached middle school girls basketball for 5 years. Before beginning at Oak Park High School over the years, she taught grades 9 through 12 while working in the classroom and taught African American literature amongst many other literature courses. Yearbook, creative writing, communication. Ms. Glenn also serves as the Oak Park Oak Park School District Athletic Director, and I had the honor to snag her away. I don't even think she was shopping, and I don't think she knew that. But I reached out because I had heard that some remarkable things that Ms. Glenn was doing. So we're appreciative of your work. Keep it up. Keep saving lives. Oh, I missed something about Miss Glenn. Here's an unknown Black history fact about Miss Glenn. During her time, Miss Glenn served as athletic director. She was the youngest, only Black female district-wide AD in the state of Michigan, as she was only 27 years old. She's an avid reader, cooking, of which sweet potato casserole is her favorite dish to make. She has 3 awesome children, 19, 17, and 7. Miss Glenn is a basketball mom. Her eldest child is her son is a scholar athlete at Oakland Community College. Her daughter recently won her 2nd MSHAA state basketball championship, and the little one recently began her career in gymnastics. So congratulations. All right. Next, we got, I promise you I didn't plan this. Brandon Giles, come on up. Woo! I did not plan. I planned last meeting. I didn't plan to watch him do what he did. So as I was watching, I see Coach Giles going there, probably what seemed to me like he was trying to give him some coaching, like, hey, don't play this way, you got to pass the ball, you guys can't lose. Next thing you know, it turns into a life savings expedition where he went from giving advice to trying to secure the person. And so when I tell you Coach Giles, there's nothing that he has not done. Just add this to his notches that he has accomplished here at Oak Park School District. Coach Giles previously worked for DPS at Cody High School from 06 to 12, where they did not win any state championships, correct? None. No. All right. He transitioned into Oak Park School District in 2012, working at Oak Park Preparatory Academy, previously known as what? Roosevelt. All right. Coach Giles currently serves as Oak Park School District Communication Director. He has won 7 state championships. He has helped over 100 students gain access into college. And for him, it's about the process, not the prize. So great job, Coach. All right, next we got Jacqueline Hamilton, who's a graphic arts teacher who did not know what she was signing up for when we hired her. Was it this year? We stole her from Southfield. Yeah, we stole her from Southfield. She didn't know what she was getting into. But now she's a computer graphics arts teacher and lifesaver. All right, so Miss Hamilton assisted in collecting personal belongings of an individual. Her genuine care and concern was vividly present. Miss Hamilton has been in education for 23 years. She attended Michigan on a full-ride scholarship to complete her undergraduate work for jewelry. She attended Eastern Michigan University for teaching certification, and she earned her master's degree in ESL from Wayne State University. Ms. Hamilton teaches graphic designs and jewelry. She has a 6-year-old son that takes up a lot of her time. For fun, she loves photography, traveling, the ocean, gardening, and reading. And here's a little fun fact about Miss Hamilton. We were rookie teachers together in Pontiac long time ago. And so it's just funny how small the education field is. Another fun fact about her is that she actually has taken, no, it's a good thing. She has taken students to Carnegie Hall for jewelry. And she's doing an amazing job, and she's also the teacher of record for the Mac Lab that the board has approved. So great job. Yeah. All right. So next, we ask that you hold off on any noises or anything on this one. So where's Miss Phillips? Come on up, Miss Phillips. So let me tell you, when I tell you I've seen a different side of Miss Phillips, all you got to do is go to our YouTube channel and see Miss Phillips in action. Because I even know they're called now. Delta what? Delta who? I'm like, why am I repeating this? Miss Phillips. Miss Phillips has been in education for 14 years, and she began teaching at Oak Park High School in 2018. She has a 12-year-old son. Miss Phillips loves to hang out and have fun with friends and family. She's very adventurous. She loves to try new things, shopping, plan events, and activities. And you helped with the Greek, correct? What was that? The Greek Fest and the staff versus school basketball game and the volleyball game. And I don't know why Miss Williams put this, but she's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta. See what I mean? All right, where's Reginald McCain? Come on up. So, while this was happening, we had all students at the game. Someone had to make sure that we had a clear separation and some crowd control. And Officer McCain jumped along with, you'll see Officer Tyner later on, and Sparks, and more. They helped, and I would say easily 600-700 students, crowd control, moving them around. He's laid back, but not to the point where he can't do his job. He's laid back when it is needed, but if you walk the hallways of Oak Park High School, he's there. You're here again, Mr. Abdul-Had? Yeah, I'm here. You know. So he enjoys building things, has a love for tools, cars, mountains, mounting televisions. Officer McCain enjoys watching TV, Star Wars fans, but not a Trekkie. Harry Potter and Halloween, but he doesn't dress up for the holidays. So thank you for your service. All right. Where's Officer Tyner? Come on up, Officer Tyner. This woman does it all. Superhero. Every time I'm in there, I see her just darting one way. Then I see her another one. Then I see her at after-school events. I mean, some of our employees are putting in legal hours. We'll say legal hours. But some long days from beginning to the basketball games or football games. Officer Tyner is there. So she's been working in security for a total of 25 years. 11 in DPS, 2.5 in Southfield, and we stole her. We stole her back. She has a daughter and a grandson that attends Oak Park High School, so she is personally invested in the success and safety of our school community. She's a team player and is always willing to do anything to help. Has a funny sense of humor and loves to laugh. She loves to shop, and I'll add, spend money. She's firm but fair. So thank you for your service. All right, we're almost done. All right, Officer Moore. Okay. So Officer Moore is a father of 6. 5 boys.
Wow.
The old, one kid's mother. The oldest, 22. I was thinking about this video where the guy has all these children. I'm like, all right, that's not a good. The oldest is 22 and the youngest is 8. Officer Moore has been working in the education school system for 10 years. Has served in a position as a bus monitor, kitchen, maintenance, and now security. He previously worked at Bradford Academy, Academy of Warren, Loris Academy, and is now at Oak Park High School. Officer Moore is a barber and works a second job after school as a professional barber. He enjoys serving his community. He sponsors haircutting services for those in need during the holiday season, and amongst many activities, Officer Moore enjoys horseshoes and playing pool, and is very good at doing both. Thank you for your All right, Ursula Woods, where are you at? All right. So, Miss Woods helped with crowd control. She's also worked in education for 32 years. She's highly qualified in social studies, business education, special education, as well as educational administration, and whatever else I throw at her. Right? Miss Woods has worked for Detroit Public Schools for 20 years and 12 years at Oak Park School District. She coaches girls basketball for 10 years. served as an athletic director for 2 and a dean of students for 2 years. She's an avid bike rider, which she wrote today here in this hot weather. She rides 20 to 30 miles a day and ends bike season with a 100-mile ride. She loves ballroom and line dancing, traveling the world. She visited many states and several countries. She also works as a grand hostess of the House of Pure Vin. Did I say that right? All right. All right. But I'm not riding my bike anymore. All right. Miss White, come on up. Bridget White. So I forgot to mention, Miss Woods is also teaches financial literacy in her spare time at Oak Park High School. So Miss White is also a teacher, a special education teacher, who also jumped to the aid in crowd control. She has 2 sons that are 33 and 21. Three-year-old granddaughter that she loves dearly. Enjoys traveling. Favorite places to visit are Las Vegas and Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. Enjoys spending time with friends and family. Hobbies are crocheting, did I say that right? Crocheting and bowling, and her highest bowl game was 256. Passion is teaching students with special needs. Thank you for that. All right, so we got one more?
Cut.
No? All right. So I will say we had Peter Conan on too, but he wasn't able to make it today. He also is a yearbook coach, and he also helped cool off the individual. And they were running, soaking towels and just trying to cool the individual. Next, we got Kyle Sparks. Come on up, Kyle. All right. So Kyle is not only a K-9 handler, he does so much more for us now than what he did when I first got here as a K. Well, actually, he was doing stuff then too, but now we put him to work. We got to make sure we get our money's worth here, right? So Kyle is a retired military man. In 2017, he served his country for how many years? 15 and a half years, and has been a K-9 handler since 2019. He joined Oak Park School District initially through a contract agency, but as a direct hire in 2023. He loves camping, especially at Walden Woods Campground in Michigan. He loves to fish in the Great Lakes. Loves to hunt deer and wild hogs all over or anywhere he could go. He's been married for 5 years, has 3 daughters, 18, 15, and 11, and 2 personal dogs. Rugger, a 10-year-old PTSD service dog, and Max, a 4-year-old Australian Shepherd. And he not only mentors the students that sometimes needs that K-9, but he also has that K-9 where when we're looking for certain things, we deploy Kyle in this K-9 unit. So thank you for your service. All right. So if I could just get you guys to come up here. We could probably do 2 rows. We'll stand in the back. Mr. Stevens, can you see everyone's?
Say cheese, heroes.
Y'all got a cheese.
All right, you ready?
You could have just said. There's a lot. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you very much, heroes.
Thank you all.
Now,
Great job, everybody.
time's yours.
Just want to say thank you to all of our heroes that are leaving the room. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Out of here.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
That's all.
They came back. They just left their stuff and said, bye.
I'm not mad.
That's so awesome.
We come to the part of the meeting where the public has an opportunity to address the board if it so desires. Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with the understanding that board members will not be able to individually respond. Trustee Davis, would you please read the public comment guidelines?
Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against the school board member or school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members. I don't have any cards.
Are there any members of the public who wish to address the board? Seeing that there are no members of the public in the room, we will go ahead. I won't call it out 3 times, so we'll keep moving. We've gone to now item number 7A, approval of Lessinger's early childhood furniture purchase. Trustee Smith.
Right.
Please read the motion.
Right. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education accepts the administration's recommendations to purchase furniture for the media center at Lessinger Early Childhood. The total cost of the furniture is $44,150.31 and will be purchased from Interior Designs located at 48700 Grand River Avenue, Novi, Michigan, 48374.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Clark. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 I even give me a chance to get it out. Yeah, all right, motion passes. We'll go to item 8A, Oakland Schools Budget 2024-25. And,
It was just sent to us, we passed it along, it's every year. It requires approval by each district.
okay. Trustee,
I will be attending, I will try to attend the meeting at Oakland Schools on May 1st. If any board members have questions they'd like me to ask, please let me know before then. If not, I will come back and bring the information that I received to the board.
thank you. Nothing else on that, we'll go to communications. Any communications from members of the administration? From members of the board? Trustee Hoyer.
So, along with some other board members, I attended the National School Boards Association Conference in New Orleans yesterday. I saw President Elvin right outside the hotel right after I got there when I was a little bit disoriented. And I saw Trustee Davis at the convention center. It was as well as some other board members from around the country and some from right here in Oakland County. There were some interesting things I learned specifically in going to the exhibitors and seeing some of the different things out there that I will share with the superintendent, as well as a program that I was starting to share with the superintendent, and then remembered the superintendent had shared it with me, the same resource, when he went to the superintendent's conference last year, and they presented there. So I look forward to talking how we can build that to serve the mental health needs of our students. But one thing that I do want to share, the keynote yesterday, and Trustee Davis and I were talking about it right afterwards, was given by Timothy Shriver, who is the head of the Special Olympics and the nephew of President Kennedy, and a almost disturbingly looks and sounds like his uncle from like the 1960s. And what he spoke about, which I think was really important, he spoke about dignity and how we have a culture of contempt, a culture that values contempt, that looks for reasons to find contempt with others and to communicate contempt with others. And he has started this organization that's really encouraging people to choose dignity, to communicate with dignity, to see others with dignity, especially those we disagree with, and gave several examples of how things we talk about, the way we talk, can be elevated with dignity, and even gave some examples about how that can be incorporated in the way the board communicates amongst itself, the way we communicate to the community, and the standards we set for the way the community communicates with us. We can put in place, and so they have a dignity pledge that basically recognizes the fact that America is only America when it's a democracy, and democracy depends on healthy debate, which depends on people speaking to each other with dignity. You can't have healthy debate when there's contempt. And so recognizing that and elevating that is such an important thing that I wanted to bring back to our community, and hopefully we can talk about ways that we can join that movement and really move that forward, because it's so critically important to set a standard for our students as they move out into the world, that you can disagree vehemently in a dignified way, recognizing the dignity of others, and that it doesn't require contempt. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you for that takeaway, Trustee Hueda. Anything else from members of the board? Okay, I will note that I also attended the NSBA conference along with several of our colleagues. An excellent weekend. One of the highlights for me was to see Ruby Bridges. If you don't know who she is many of us have all seen the visual of the young black girl being escorted to school by U.S. Marshals. She was the first black student to go to William Frantz Elementary School in New Orleans. So fitting the conference was in New Orleans. And she did a tremendous job, especially in today's climate where many DEI programs and things of that nature are constantly under attack. But she had a great message for us, and that was worthwhile, as well as attending some of the sessions. I always go to the one on law, and was able to stay for maybe 40 minutes. I'll bring a couple of key takeaways from that for the next meeting. And then the last thing, I also attended one that focused on the board's evaluation of itself. And so we will certainly work to put that to work here on this board. Just need to make sure I have the natural order of things, but I believe we can take a self-assessment on our own, and then we will have a facilitator to come. So this is one of the things that the board has been clamoring for. So there's an opportunity for us to assess ourselves and our effectiveness in what we're doing. So looking forward to that. Great opportunity to be a part of that. I did note to the Superintendent Abdullah while we were there, this is the second year in a row some of us have attended. And one of the, I can't think of what the acronym stands for, but one of the, there's another organization called CUBE that deals with like urban boards, I think.
Urban Boards of Education.
Thank you.
Council of Urban Boards of Education.
Say again?
Council of Urban Boards of
Council of
Education.
Urban Boards and Education, thank you. And it seems like the conference they have is also worthwhile, worth attending, as well as maybe getting some of our board members on, I shouldn't say on, just getting our board to be a part of CUBE. I don't know what the cost is, but I did mention it to you, so we can look into it. Yes, sir.
One thing I want to add in terms of that, they also announced yesterday that in January, there's always the advocacy conference in Washington, D.C., and that's preceded, the advocacy conference is from Sunday through Tuesday, and then it's always preceded on Saturday by an equity symposium. They're now changing that, and the entire thing is going to be advocacy and it's a conference on advocacy and equity. So that's going to be spread out through the January conference.
So these are great opportunities for our board to get some additional learning to understand what's going on and what are the trends that are happening in education at the board level around the country, and to learn from other colleagues as well as participate in sessions where you can be a blessing to others as well. So again, always good to meet people. It was a great weekend, and look forward to any key takeaways any other board members have as we go. I know we have another meeting this month, so maybe some just got back today. So I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot for having traveled. You know, poor Trustin Madison has been traveling since 3 this morning. So, not trying to put anybody on the spot. But you know, look forward to any key takeaways that anyone else might have had in some of our ensuing meetings. Any addenda? Hearing none. Next meeting? I got it. If you want me to do it.
I got it.
Okay.
The next meeting of the Board of Education, I'm slow because I just traveled to. I'm on the struggle bus. Okay. The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Wednesday, April 17, 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. in the boardroom at the administration building.
April 17th, which means we won't have one on the
15th. On the 24th.
On the 22nd.
On the 22nd.
All right, so 17th in lieu of the 22nd. Got it. Any questions on anything? Nothing else? All right, the time is 7:43, and if nothing else, we will adjourn by unanimous consent unless there's an objection to doing so. I know there is not one, so we are adjourned at 7:43.